Welcome, students, friends, faculty, Board of Trustees, and honored guests. Thank you all for attending the class of 2024's 8th grade graduation ceremony. We are grateful to be able to share it with you all who have supported us on this wonderful journey. Today marks a significant milestone in our lives. As each year goes by, each graduating class is tasked with the honor of choosing a theme for their speech. After much deliberation and countless English classes, our theme of friendship was chosen. In The Outsiders, S.E. Hinton states, "If you have 2 friends in your lifetime, you are lucky. If you have 1 good friend, you are more than lucky. I must be the luckiest person because I have 5 of the greatest friends." Friendship can be defined as companionship or a supportive and understanding relationship between many. As a member of the class of 2024, our interpretation means much more. Friendship is not just a definition, but a lived experience that has shaped who we are today and is the essence of our collective experiences. It is what has made our time at Willow special and memorable. Throughout each year, our bond has strengthened. From rarely speaking throughout our early Willow days to constantly conferring with one another in and out of school. Our time at Willow has included shared experiences, laughter, support, accomplishments, and many snacks. These deep friendships have been a highlight of our personal and academic lives. We are all proud and appreciative to have attended Willow and the lessons about community and friendship that have been bestowed upon us. Now, I'm thrilled to introduce my classmates and their stories that have made friendship come alive.
Let me ask you a question. If the world suddenly ended and we were plunged into apocalypse, who of your friends do you think would survive? From my own experiences, I know the answer. But let's go back a bit. The day was sunny and bright, and I had just come in for lunch. I lined up, got my pasta, and then sat down at my assigned table, only to realize that my friends were waiting outside, waiting for me to join them. I took up their offer, meeting them outdoors, and we started talking. The conversation shifted to movies, specifically horror movies. I wonder where this is going. Eventually, the question came up, which members of our class would survive the apocalypse? We began running through the list. These friends might not fare as well. Dominic would be out first, because while he is athletic, he has horrible future planning skills. Jiho, while cunning, may not be able to keep up with the rest of us. Cassie would prioritize her animals over her own safety. Lexi would get very easily distracted by anything and everything. Margot would be trying to tame a herd of zombie horses. Now, on to the survivors. I would survive because I'm prepared and have a plan of action. I'm not telling any of you because, well, who knows? James would survive because he would be in a prepared underground bunker playing video games. Aiden and Mila would survive because their love of marine environments would find them in a high-tech submarine together. We laughed and enjoyed ourselves for the entirety of lunch. And of course, at the next lunch, guess what we did? We did it again, changing outcomes and developing strategies to alter these outcomes. The conversation now and then changed, but we would always return to who would survive the apocalypse, repeating this tradition throughout the rest of the school year. Though these talks may have stopped in this 8th grade year, I will always remember these memories. Because here's the crux. Our tight-knit class of 2024 is more like a family of friends than just a group of classmates. And like a family of friends, we will be there for each other, regardless of how apocalyptic our lives become.
It was a sunny day, and I stood outside the wellness building, waiting for my turn in the school's egg drop contest. The egg experiment went on for weeks. We each had 100 fake dollars to spend. I was the last one to go, and I remember feeling very nervous. I wrapped felt around the egg and put the egg into a plastic bag. Using straws, I created a 3-sided pyramid. On the top was a parachute made with string and newspaper. I thought I was doomed because I was sure the egg would fall out of the top and smash on the ground. And it was at this moment when I realized the whole school was chanting my name. Back then, I felt embarrassed because I often feel shy when I have to perform or speak in front of others. And that is why I asked Mr. Andy to do the speaking for me today. Thank you, Mr. Andy. You're welcome. Even though I felt embarrassed back then, I can now look back on that day and I can see how cool it was that everyone, even the 8th graders I was competing against, were cheering me on. On the day of the egg drop, everybody was my friend. We all decided to talk about friendship today. That is easy for me to think about, but not so easy for me to get my feelings or thoughts out of my mouth. Between that and being shy, it can be hard for me to feel comfortable enough to reach out and make friends. But being at Willow taught me so much about friendship. I learned what it feels like to be cared for and really understood, to be accepted for being exactly who I am, James. I know that the teachers are not exactly my friends, but I feel the same acceptance from my teachers here at Willow. I am seen and I am understood. It makes school so much better. Not the homework part. I still don't really love that, but I do like the way I feel here. I am also grateful to have my 8th grade and middle school friends, Dylan, Mila, Margot, Aiden, and Lexi, are friends that I will always remember. Some of the best times I have ever had have happened with my Willow friends, in school, at pool parties, at dances. My classmates are like my family, and they have always been there for me. Whether they are luring me out of the corner with crackers or telling me stories about their lives, I always feel supported. My other friends here, Uma, Lila, Cohen, Hero, and David, have also helped me make memories that I will never forget. And I can't end without mentioning former classmates, Jiho, Dominic, Jillian, Cassie, Emily, Aston, who have helped me get through the years of COVID and many other transitions in my life. And I learned how to support and help each others too. And I learned that I really do like making others laugh. I hope that I see them all often, and that in 8 years from now, my friends and I and the teachers will be together when we will open up our time capsule. And I know that the lessons about friendship that I learned here at Willow will help me make long and lasting friendships at the Barnstable School. I know it is important to learn about history, writing, and math, but I am really so grateful that I also learned about friendships, unconditional acceptance, and feeling understood at Willow. Thank you, everyone, for the memories.
Click. The door closed behind me as I came into the long hallway from recess. I changed my grassy outdoor sneakers into my clean underones. I was the first to sit along the window. I looked outside to the ring road and saw my favorite yellow and pink flowers as the sweet scent of them filled my nose. Evan, Aston, Rocco, and Margot ran inside from recess and sat next to me. Evan had brought clementines, or as we called them, sardines. We were laughing and talking as we shared the sardines. After, Mr. Mann, our second grade teacher, told us about the time when he saw the birth of a baby deer on the grassy portion of the ring road behind us. Immediately, I thought that seeing a baby deer being born was the coolest thing ever, and that he was so lucky. Can you imagine Then we all began looking around, trying to spot a deer. Can you imagine 5 second graders leaning on a window, trying to spot deer? Maybe you can guess what might happen. Everyone sat back against the window, except for Margot and me. We were still looking for deer. When all of a sudden, Evan leaned against the window. Whoosh, it flew open, and he fell through, landing softly onto the grass 2 feet below. Everyone turned around to make sure he was okay. Laying in the grass under us, Evan said, "I'm okay," and Mr. Mann pulled him up and locked the window. We sat back on the windowsill, talking about how crazy that was, when I leaned on the window, imagining what would happen if I fell through. And all of a sudden, I started falling. It felt like forever. I landed in a soft pile of grass and leaves. I smiled, thinking I had a new story to share. I saw everyone's head peeking through the window, looking at me. Margot, Evan, and Aston grabbed my hands and pulled me up. I will take this Willow memory with me wherever I go, to remind myself that it's okay to make mistakes. I know and trust my friends to help me wherever I go and with whatever I do. I know that they'll be there for me just as I will be there for them, and that they will pick me up, figuratively and literally. With the support that we give one another, I am confident that we can do whatever we put our minds to.
Nervous, nervous, nervous. My heart raced as my dad and I drove up to the middle school building on my first day of school at Willow. I hesitantly walked up to the building's doors and immediately found Elise and Alina, 2 people I had known from a previous school. I was so relieved to see them. Luckily, I had been to Willow's orientation, so I was somewhat familiar with the layout of the building and what my schedule would look like. First, we had a middle school meeting, and even though I knew my way around a bit, I still felt disoriented without my 2 close friends. Next was class with Mr. Andy. I dragged my feet, filled with apprehension as I crept into the wellness space, then stopped. Looking around, I saw the boys lined up on one side of the room and the girls lined up on the other. What was I supposed to do? Where should I go? Was I supposed to wait for Mr. Andy? Should I even enter the room? Without skipping a beat, a tall girl with long blonde hair, black riding boots, and a blue lace top moseyed over, grabbed my arm, and tugged me to the other side of the room. "Hi, what's your name?" asked the tall girl enthusiastically. "Alexis," I mumbled. "Well, I'm Margot, and I'm not going to let you stand here by yourself." The immediacy of Margot's welcome reassured me that I was going to be okay. From that moment on, I knew I would make many friends at Willow. Everything was going to be fine, and it has been ever since. Those first 5 minutes framed my definition of friendship. Friends are people to rely on when you need help. Friends are trustworthy, loyal, available, and responsive. Friends are respectful, considerate, balanced, and kind. There should never be an element of fear in true friendships. Although I've only been here for 2 years, it feels like an eternity. My friendships feel ancient, even though they've only just begun. My classmates are my second family, even though we aren't related by blood. They are an important part of my life, and I know it will stay that way for years to come. I can't express how thankful I am to have had such amazing teachers who have devoted so much of their time and effort into helping me become the best version of myself. I am more confident and independent, and I will carry those traits with me throughout the rest of my life. Confident, confident, confident. Because of my strong friendships and supportive teachers, I am leaving Willow a different person than I was on that September morning 2 years ago. Willow is in the heart of Mother Nature, and I'm so lucky to have had the opportunity to be a part of this amazing school. Thank you.
were all sitting around the English table, our class of 2024, with our assignments completed and unsure what to do next. True to form, we started talking. Margot brought up her horse troubles with her new horse, Maeve. Dylan was excitedly discussing a new technological development, and James was nodding his head in agreement when all of a sudden someone said, "Birds aren't real." What? Where did that come from? Sure enough, Dr. Vate had announced this new theory with a stoic face and serious tone. We all burst out laughing, but immediately understood what she had meant. Throughout that year, there had been an ongoing discourse regarding the realness of birds. Social media posts, news articles, and websites had all propagated this bizarre theory. According to this conspiracy, birds are robots sent by the government to spy on our everyday lives. The reason they sit on wires is so that their batteries can recharge. As insane and untrue as this tale was, it didn't matter. Our whole class managed to completely deconstruct each component of this theory and debate which parts could possibly be plausible. Aston and Dylan's head immediately went down in annoyance. Dominic was amused and seemed to take the theory seriously. Shocker. James and Jiho were rigging him on, and Cassie and Jillian attempted to invent places where the government might hide all the real birds, such as top-secret buildings. Meanwhile, Mila, Margot, Emily, and I fed into the absurdity, devising additional reasons why birds were obviously not real, because after all, sometimes birds are just really weird. That day, I learned something important about our class. It didn't matter how pointless the topic of conversation was. With my classmates, we were all just content being together, whether in complete silence or uncovering the implausibility of robotic birds. My time spent at Willow has resulted in numerous lessons in knowledge, but perhaps even more importantly, in friendship. Without Willow, I would not have met some of the most valuable people in my life. I've never been a firm believer in the idea that everything happens for a reason, but Willow is the exception. My friendships at Willow are like family, and I have met people with whom I know I will have an impactful relationship with for the rest of my life. So, while the jury is still out about whether or not birds are real, I know the friendships I have made at Willow are.
Across from the first grade classroom, Evan and I sat next to each other in timeout. Who thought that was a good idea? The reason we were put there in the first place was because we wouldn't stop talking. We sat in silence, wondering what our penalty would be, for about 5 seconds. A glance and a smile, and every worry melted away. We were told not to talk to each other, and so we didn't. We didn't need to. We were perfectly satisfied to relish in the radiance and the purity of an unwavering friendship. We enjoyed each other's company and were happy just to sit. Just one look said everything that needed to be said. We would always be there for each other, and whatever consequence we faced, we'd face it together. That is what Willow means to me. Loyalty, undying friendship, and a deep understanding of what that really means. People ask me what virtue I value the most, and after almost 12 years here, I've never been able to answer them with just one sentence. The truth is, they're all connected, hand in hand, no matter what. Virtues cannot be separated from one another. They're what tie people together and make clear to us that the little differences aren't the ones that really matter. It's the core values on the inside that bring people closer. Willow has instilled a strong sense of values within me, and in all that I have learned, I trust that I will make decisions that will not only satisfy me, but benefit the wonderful people around me. I have yet to know exactly what the future holds, but whatever it is, with a strong sense of virtues as a guiding light, I have faith that in it we will go far.
Willow has conditioned us for the lives that we have yet to lead.
We have made the memories and learned the lessons that will stay with us always.
Our tightly knit community has taught us to value the key factors in creating friendships that will withstand the test of time. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and we have learned to embrace those and see the beauty within them. This class is composed of a group of people who have joined at different points in their lives, but together we have managed to structure a functionally dysfunctional class dynamic.
We take with us the lessons we have learned, the memories we have made, and the essence of Willow's mission wherever we may go. We have run through the woods, climbed on the trees, and rolled on the grass here at this incredible school. Now, we will go on to climb the mountains we face, run through the challenges, and revel in the beauty of our high school years. Willow will continue to develop over the years, as will we. To us, it will always be our school,
Our campus,
our woods,
our dream realms,
our stories,
our memories.
and our second home. Thank you to everyone who has made Willow what it is and will always be to us.
We bid farewell to Willow, but greet a new chapter of our lives.
Class of 2024, we made it.